What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Shelty. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is OdinKing. This is game number 2 of this best of 5 series for the Divine Intervention Tournament. Shelty taking that first game with a very, very strong showing of Loki. Moving into game number 2, though, he's got the Oranos. It is a random matchup tournament, random god tournament. And this means that players are going to be having to play a different god every game, and they're not going to have to play a different matchup every game that they're not so comfortable with, or maybe they are. It depends on the luck of the draw in a way, but OdinKing with the Hades here against the Oranos. We do see another fish map. Now, these fish maps, they are relatively uncommon. And what I mean by that is I believe there is something like a 20% chance for a map with fish. So 80% of the time, we're going to be seeing a map without fish. The other thing is that you have access to a veto in this tournament. And normally in competitive mega random tournaments, I say, why do you need a veto? The vetoes are silly. That's just like, you don't need a veto. There's not going to be any problems with these maps. But the thing is, in terms of certain matchups, thank you for the prime there, Bo Chat. Appreciate you, my friend, for the 4 months. The thing with the maps and the matchups is that some matchups are really, really balanced on land and super unbalanced on water. So I've given every player a veto just in case they have, say, I don't know, let's just say, for example, I don't know, Odin versus Isis on a sort of Midgard-esque map, and you don't want to play that one, maybe, I don't know. That's up to the players to decide which maps they would rather not play and which maps they would like to play. So that's available there. But both players here seemingly happy to play this matchup. I personally, if I had to take a stab at this one, I really love this this iteration of the water with the circle around the middle. It plays very similarly to Mediterranean, but without the ridiculous imbalances that come from like Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon's super early game advantage with restoration, bolts, Chiron, all this kind of early game stuff. With the ability to attack from multiple different angles and the ability to defend under the dock really, really easily, this becomes a much, much easier kind of situation to play the defender from. And much more difficult to play the offense from. So it kind of flips the script a little bit on who is strong on this map and who is weak on this map. Though we do see kind of, in a way, it's the two of the S-tier gods, S-A-tier gods here with Hades and Oranos duking it out on this map. I'm excited to see what Shelty's going to do here, because in my mind, fighting the water here, full on, it's going to be a tough thing to make work. Meanwhile, we see something very strange here from OdinKing. He is going for a forward temple here with the Hades. I don't know what the purpose of this is. Obviously, he's going to get himself out a very, very forward Minotaur or something to send forward. Potentially the idea being that maybe he wants to play around Shelty going for a Valor push on his side of the map, giving him a timing of around, what is it, a minute and a half that his Minotaur can be in his opponent's base, causing chaos, while those oracles are kind of sitting not usable. So an interesting idea here. We'll see how things are going to go, but I definitely think a 4:30 advance time has to be the way forward here. And we do see Ares for OdinKing. So not even a Minotaur. He doesn't even want the Minotaur. He doesn't even want the restoration. He's going for Ares. Ares gives a couple of bonuses that are very, very nice for the late game of Oranos, but a little bit unnecessary in a way in this matchup. You don't really need that extra bonus. It's much better to have the safety of Athena here with the restoration, the Minotaur, and all the good stuff that comes from that. But we'll see what OdinKing's plan is. I think he wants to have that Cyclops and the early game pressure to hit this position and potentially win the water really, really quickly. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it work. I'm not sure it's going to be 100% possible. Do we see any economic guild down here for Shelty? Answer, no. Do we see any upgrades coming through here for OdinKing? Answer is also no at this point. He might be considering the idea of a Ajax, Chiron, early game kind of thing, as he's getting the 2 favor in from this forward villager as well. And he's going to be going very, very hard here on the ship production, as the Promethean is now out, and you can see the Oracles are forward here, checking everything out on this position, as the Cyclops starting to wander forward here. And we'll see how things are going to go as the Pestilence does come down, hits both of these docks. A little bit late on that one as the Bareems both pop out. If his plan was to really make the presence of this Cyclops felt here, he probably should have got that off just that little bit earlier to stop the Bareems from coming in. But OdinKing now coming forward. He can take this fight underneath the dock fire here, no problems, because he's going to get reinforcements where his opponent isn't really going to be getting those either. As we see another dock going to be coming down now for Shelty, as Shelty is moving back and forth here. OdinKing trying to push forward underneath this position. We do see the Citizen going to be getting something up here. Meanwhile, the heroes, are they moving across the map just yet? I do see the Ajax is in. I don't know where the Chiron is just yet, but little bits of damage. There's the Chiron coming in, as OdinKing can throw all caution to the wind here, as he's got such a ship advantage here. Shelty pulling back as best as he can, but still finding underneath two docks, maybe a little bit too much, as the Chiron is causing some serious problems here. Now we've got the hero Mamilo out. They're going to cause some problems over here. The Mamilo going straight for the Cyclops, though, as the Trireme can come over here and get some serious damage done. But is this going to be enough here to take that Cyclops down? The answer might be yes, but we'll see if those hero Mamilo are going to die in the meantime, as OdinKing is trying to focus them down. Not fast enough there, as one more falls, and this Cyclops does end up falling, but all of the Mamilo do fall, as now the Chiron is going to get some serious damage done onto these gold mine units here. He can just passive stance on that one and cause some serious problems. He snipes a Citizen, was it there? Somewhere, I'm not sure where that one fell, as the Chiron kind of still getting dragged through. Mamilo are now getting produced by Shelty. He's now got himself a decent amount of Bareem here. It's 7-7 though, which does favor the OdinKing Triremes. They've got more damage, more HP, more literally more everything but speed, as he pulls back and forth, not quite able to do all too much, as the Chiron here going to be sort of traded himself for a couple of Mamilo. Definitely worth it to make these trades, in all honesty. That Chiron is not worth that many resources. 200 wood is really not that much compared to 3 or 2 Mamilo, which he would have actually been able to kill, as the dock does end up coming up there. Shelty's still going to be taking this fight for the moment, as the Ajax over here is still causing some problems, but the Mamilo are now out to defend here, as the Chiron moves back forward here, going to get some damage in. The Ajax coming through here as well. Wouldn't mind seeing some like military buildings coming up. An archery range would be huge here, and just playing the defensive side of the water here instead of putting pressure on. You can put more pressure onto the land, especially knowing that these Mamilo are all that are out there. As a Promethean does come through, gotta be a little bit careful with that one, because that's going to get taken down pretty easily. But it looks like the Chiron does end up getting dealt with. Shelty has survived the early pressure of OdinKing. He's still alive here with this dock, as the ship's going to try and get some pressure done. 10-10 here, but underneath the dock fire, they're not able to really make that damage felt, as those Trireme do indeed need to retreat away here. And now we get a little bit of a lull, because here's the problem. The problem with Hades, and the problem with Hades is always going to be this, and I hate to say it, but the problem is that Hades gets to harass you, but you don't get to harass Hades in these situations. Because he can just click Sentinels, and what are you going to do? Nothing. You can play around Sentinels a little bit with Terma. You can raid Hades with Terma. Don't get me wrong with that, but the Mamilo, they're not going to feel as useful, as we do see an archery range coming up, a stable coming up, and before those units even start getting created here, Shelty is seeing this, so he's going to be able to react immediately to this if he so chooses with his own counter barracks and start making himself some Terma. Alternatively, he can just stick in with those Mamilo here for a very long time and feel completely fine about that. I'm sure there's going to be a Valor available here very, very soon as well to help out on these fights, as the Promethean trying to chase down the villagers here, building that stable. Not sure if the stable is quite the right option here either, as he can make himself some infantry units that are much better, some hoplites in these situations, much, much better, as the Toxotes still getting produced, running over to the shore there. We see a little bit of a raid coming through, picking off a fishing ship. Nice play there from Shelty. There's only a handful of Trireme here, and the Bareem of Shelty going to be easily able to take those Trireme out. Nice decision making there from Shelty, as the Trireme try to keep the villager alive, but he loses that one as the dock is sitting there at 1,791 HP. Another villager moving forward here with 7 HP. Can get that stable up, get that dock up. As long as he doesn't get sniped down, should be completely fine. As we do see now, a counter barracks is up. Shelty hasn't started production there just yet. OdinKing, on the other hand, has plenty of food in the bank. Just needs some gold to go to the next age. But Shelty's pressure is starting to mount on both of these sides here. And we'll see how everything is going to go here for OdinKing, as his forward base is not quite worked out just yet. His wood income is kind of slowed down to a halt. His trireme numbers have dropped down to 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like Shelty is going to be able to control the center C here. And he's also pressuring on the land, so all of the advantage right now is in Shelty's court, as OdinKing not able to hold on here. He's given up completely on the water. He's going for this town center. Can he get it up or not is the big question. Going for this town center on the side where all of the max train Shelty units are hanging out is very, very risky. If Shelty spots this, he's going to be in a very, very good position here, but it looks like Shelty here, he does know there's a town center there. Obviously doesn't know that it's going up. A little bit of a raid onto this position as Sentinels. It does get clicked down there, but this town center over here could also go up at any point as the army retreating back. There is a retreat path that might see the town center, but with 12 villagers building this one up, should be completely fine. As the Ajax pulling back away from this position, completely safe and in a decent position there as well. As now Shelty, what's the next plan? Do you grab town centers? Do you go for the heroic gauge? Do you go full send to get some sort of a gold staff here? So 1,000 gold left in the main base here for OdinKing, but he's got 0 economy or 0 units here. If you take a look at how much the average cost of gold of a unit is, something like 40 to 50 gold, maybe 40 gold. So how many units can you actually build with 1,000 gold is the question you kind of have to ask there. And it's kind of somewhere in the vicinity of 20 to 25 units, in all honesty. And I think that if Shelty can just keep OdinKing off of resources here, he'll be in a really good position. But OdinKing, he doesn't even want to try it. He taps out at 11 minutes here. I don't think he's quite lost in this position. He's got plenty of gold in this position. He's got the second town center up, which is an advantage over Shelty to give himself some extra stuff there. But I think he's just out of food and he's not producing villagers anymore. He's in complete disarray in this game, and he does decide the game is lost. Probably not too early of a tap out there, in all honesty, but you like to see the players trying for the to the nth degree there. Good win here for Shelty, in real solid form thus far. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider the follow on the Twitch. It is a best of 5. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. So we will be having at least a third game here, if not a couple more, if OdinKing can find a win. Anyways, we'll see you in the next game.